Hi everybody, happy hot Tuesday. It is 89 degrees right now and very humid, feels a lot hotter. Um, I'm not really complaining other than I had to be at court this morning wearing a suit and tie, so that's a little rough all dressed up, but I'd much rather have the heat than than cold. And my sister got a pool last summer, so definitely be heading over there after work. I'm sure the kids are probably already over there. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about prenups. It's a common item here in Ohio. I think it's a difficult conversation to have with your fiance, obviously. Once you get over the awkwardness or the emotionalness of it, which is saying other than that, Mr. Lincoln, how was the play? It's a very good tool to have. It's sort of should be viewed as, I think, in the best light as an insurance policy in case something ever happens to your marriage, to protect your assets and save you money from a costly divorce. Ohio's prenup statute's been around for a while. There's basically three main requirements for a valid prenup to be enforced. The first would be that it doesn't have terms that encourage profiting by divorce. That one's maybe the most ambiguous. I have not really seen prenups challenged for that. Maybe it used to happen before, and now they're just not drafted that way. But the second one is be entered into without threats of fraud, coercion, or duress. Basically, did you have enough time to have it reviewed by an attorney? Are you under an inordinate amount of pressure? Obviously, there's a little bit of pressure anytime you're presented with a prenup because you're engaged and there's presumably a wedding planned. But there's a difference between giving it to somebody 6 or 8 months before their wedding and 6 to 8 hours before your wedding, right? So if somebody's supposed to get married on Saturday and is handed a prenup on Friday, that prenup's is certainly not going to be enforced down the road. The third requirement is that both parties make a full and complete disclosure of the nature and value of your assets. So you have to know what you're signing away. You can't hide something, or that prenup is not going to be enforced. So usually when I draft a prenup, I tell the parties, hey, there's no magic wand. I don't know whether you're disclosing everything to me or not, but if you don't disclose everything, just know this is likely not going to be enforced. Another, probably maybe one of the most important things that's not listed on one of the technical requirements, but is a strong recommendation, is that both parties would have a lawyer in the process. I've been on both the drafting end and the reviewing end many times. When the attorney gets somebody to review it and negotiate on their behalf, even if they don't request any changes, there's still a certification form that the attorney will usually sign that just indicates that they have discussed the laws with their client, that they've told them what they might be waiving, what they might be gaining, and that they express an understanding of the same. And so if you have that attorney certification, it's much more likely that your prenup is going to be enforced down the road, because both parties are going to have a harder time saying they didn't understand it or this was never explained to me what I was doing. So having a second lawyer check it out, some people are afraid to do that because they think the second lawyer is going to try to negotiate or whatever, and sometimes that happens, but it's definitely, in my opinion, worth it. Also takes away from the unfairness argument. Some of these are turned down if they're considered to be too unfair, but if both people had a lawyer, it's a lot harder to argue that one person got railroaded. So that's it for today. I hope you guys are having a good week, and I'll talk to you later.